What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. And from the New York Post, State Task Force boosts reparations figure to $360,000 for each black Californian. So, as we see with almost every story, they are inching us closer and closer to communism every single chance they get. And I know that sounds hyperbolic or, it's a conspiracy theory or, this is a right-wing talking point. It's really not. This is, if you're paying any tiny bit of attention, you will realize that every single thing they did, starting with Rona, was built to usher in an entirely new system. So all black Californians are going to get $360,000. It's completely phony. We're going to give free money to homeless people, safe injection sites for junkies, free money for transformers. We're going to tell you exactly how much money you need. We're going to tell you exactly how much money you can spend. We're going to tell you exactly how many miles you can drive. If we let you live in the pod, eat the bugs. It sounds extreme. It's been beaten into a paste by commentators all over the place. But when you see stories like this, it's absolutely true. Every single thing they do is to take away from somebody and gain more control over somebody else. Why is this necessary? $360,000. Why didn't we talk about this when Barack Obama was president? Right? This is absolute insanity. They have jumped the shark. They are trying to, and I don't even know why they're still trying to, basically sort of pander for votes, because we all know that they don't need the votes. If they want something, they'll get it. It doesn't even matter. Not for one split second does it matter what you want. We see that Californians don't want Gavin Newsom to run for president, but mark my words, he's going to run for president, and he might win because our opinion, our likes and dislikes do not matter at all to the establishment. They are going to take what they want. And like I said in a previous video, there's I don't know. I don't have the answers, obviously. I'm just going to keep ranting at a camera. But it is going to take hot kinetic conflict to get rid of the political establishment in New York. Nobody stands a chance. There's no grassroots for the people, independent, Republican, whatever, free-minded, common sense person that's ever going to get a foothold in that political establishment. It's impossible without extreme measures. Unfortunately, that's just where we are right now. And it's sad to say, but it's just absolutely true. And now they're going to tell you, well, we're going to give black people $360,000. And if you believe that, I got 3 bridges in Brooklyn to sell you. It's all a complete and total scam. These people are disgusting. A reparations task force in California has increased the amount of money it wants taxpayers to hand out in compensation for racial discrimination and enslavement. After proposing $220,000 payments, the California Reparations Task Force proposed at a meeting Friday that every black citizen in the state be given $360,000. So before it was $220,000 and they weren't happy enough, because if you give them an inch, they take a mile. There's no way. It's the same thing with the apologies. Oh, you apologize because you said a wrong thing. You had a wrong thing. You said that women only give birth. You apologize. Now they smell blood in the water. We need you to apologize more. Ask Kyrie Irving. He donated $500,000 to some shakedown grievance group, and they said not enough. So you can't apologize. They're going to give you $220,000 for free just for existing, and you said, no, we need $360,000. Give me a break. How is this continuing to happen? I do not know. The project would cost as much as $640 billion. These are just made up numbers. This isn't even real. Oh, 640. Like, we got this entire government talking about $30 trillion in debt. And meanwhile, I have a credit score. And I know that I sound like a broken record, but when you talk about the Rona scam, the Rona hypocrisy, the Rona hysteria, the Rona, control tactics, and the weasel words and the manipulation, and then you have that one guy in California who cashed in on a fake PPP loan and he went to jail. So they're going to scam you all day, every day. But if you try to scam back, you will end up in jail. I can't say it enough. $640 billion. Give me a break. It's all completely made up. If California can admit its sins and change the narrative, then there is a way forward for states and cities across the nation. California Secretary of State Shirley Weber, who authored the bill, creating, oh my God, what a mess. And here we have Gavin Newsom. And this is just another picture of how they will constantly tell you that, oh, white people are the problem. White people are so racist. We need to, the white privilege, the misogyny, all this. Meanwhile, Bo Biden is president. Gavin Newsom is governor, and he might run for president. They're never going to say, right? Joe Biden should have stepped down and given his job to Kamala Harris, which, I mean, would have been arguably worse, but that's a different story. My point is, you could have let Tulsi Gabbard have it. Or even Marianne Williamson, because at least she's a woman, maybe not a woman of color. She didn't check every box. And then, of course, Biden surrounded himself with Kamala, with Ketanji Brown Jackson, and the little mop top, black, gay, lesbian, whatever speaker, Karine Jean-Pierre, right? So those are all his human shields from criticism. And shout out Candace and MIA, this ad here on the New York Post. I'm sorry, I've gotten completely off track. Continue with this article just a little bit. The task force met Friday for the first session of its 2-day deliberations over how much reparations each black citizen who descended from an enslaved ancestor in the U.S. is entitled, and how those reparations will be distributed. This is all nonsense. Of course, this is a scam in itself, because they're going to need money to figure it out, and then it'll just fly, it'll dissolve into thin air. They'll come back and say, we didn't figure it out. We need more time and money. That's the only. Do you think for one split second they're going to start handing out checks to thousands of people, $360,000 each? Give me a break. But some people still buy it, just like the stupid people who bought up the college loan forgiveness. Joe Biden's going to give me free money. I took out a loan. I created the own debt, but I shouldn't be responsible for it. And Joe Biden's going to pay it off. No, he's not. You're a moron. You guys are completely gullible, right? This is ridiculous. The payments could be made directly to those qualified or in the form of investments in education, healthcare, and home ownership for black communities. There are roughly 1.8 million African Americans living in the Golden State. Yeah, so they're going to cut $360,000 checks to each one of those people. This is ridiculous. Obviously, they're not. This is so theatrical. Even this guy here with his beard in his hat is all so completely theatrical. It's a game. It's all a game, right? Why is anybody taking anything seriously at this point? You might as well just shred your paperwork and collect free stuff and go to New York, live in a hotel, and tell them that speak English, The group reached the proposed $640 billion fund total by using a model that evaluated the state's racial wealth gap, which is fake. They created that. They created a model to tell them that they needed $640 billion. Who is gonna be able to check that work, right? Who is going to be the fail safe for that? Oh, well, the racial wealth gap. We saw it. How many years have we heard of the gender pay gap, which of course has been debunked a million times over. If you think about it logically and realistically, this is the same thing. But like I always say, they are able to create these buzzwords and these buzz phrases that stupid people find appealing, and they can't see through it. A history of housing discrimination against black Californians makes up a significant portion of the compensation the panel recommends. Several black communities were bought out or seized through eminent domain to be bulldozed for infrastructure projects, according to the panel's findings. And why did it take so long, though? Answer me that. Why is this happening in 2023? Why didn't this happen in 1985? Why didn't this happen in 1991? Because it's a political talking point. They've jumped the shark. They know that people are finally starting to see through their shenanigans, so they just keep throwing things at the wall in hopes that this will distract you. This is another current thing. Don't watch what this hand's doing while this hand's doing something else. And it's mind-boggling how they're just pretending now that, oh yeah, we're gonna give each. I mean, my head hurts. These people are ridiculous. The task force previously reported that white households on average own 9 times more assets than black households. So these are the people that want to print money and give it to a certain group of people because they know that they can skim that off the top. So you're telling me that those people whose end goal is to give away money to a certain group, they're the ones researching how to get it done? Nobody's going to take a look at this and say, it doesn't really make sense. Give me a break. This is laughable. And for anybody, I don't know what else to say, but for anybody who actually believes this, then you need to reprioritize. You got to actually think about this stuff logically. Take a step back and really ask yourself, do you honestly and truly think any of these people really have your best interest in mind? I think if you ask yourself that, honestly, like in a room alone, nobody has to see you, see the truth, rush upon you. I know it can be embarrassing when you champion for something for so long and it turns out to be all fake, but just do it by yourself and actually think, are these people really going to print money and give it to me because they truly feel like I'm owed something? Or should that have happened decades ago? Kind of like, are these pharmaceutical hacks? Are these pseudoscientists really going to give me a life-saving treatment for free? They've been working hard at it for a couple years and they're just going to give it to me for free because they care about me so much? I don't think so. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.